Hello everyone, my name is Devashish Roy. I'm the head of training and development at the Indian Cybersecurity Solution, and I welcome you all to this special webinar today. And today's topic is from the AWS Cloud Security, that is AWS Advanced VPC Security. So, as we know, AWS is the largest cloud provider, and we'll talk about the VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. What is the meaning of the virtual private cloud, and why it is so important in the AWS security? So, let's begin. So we'll be talking about the AWS Advanced VPC Security, and we'll be talking about the advanced security features and configurations for AWS VPC to enhance the network integrity and protection. So VPC is actually the virtual private cloud, and it is like your network. Say you are using any resource in any network. You are say launching EC2 instance in a network. So where do you launch it? You can launch it in default network, that is default subnet, like AWS has 172.31 subnet generally. So that is the default VPC, or we can customize also. So what is the AWS VPC security about? AWS Virtual Private Cloud Security is crucial for maintaining the integrity and confidentiality of data within the cloud environments. So we'll cover key components of VPC security, its challenges, best practices, and advanced features to effectively secure cloud. So we'll understand what are the components of the virtual private cloud. So VPC is a logically isolated section of the AWS cloud where users can actually control and define a virtualized network environment. You can say that it's like a logical domain, logical area, or logical network, like the subnet. So which is in the subnet in Cisco, in AWS, yes, you have subnets. You are actually creating the network ID. You are saying that the network ID is the VPC, and then you divide the network ID into subnets. This includes the selection of IP address range, creation of subnets that I've already told you, and configuration of route tables and network gateways. Now, these are the components of this VPC, and we'll now discuss these components individually also. Then subnets, public and private subnet. So subnets within a VPC are classified as public or private. Public subnet means that are accessible from the internet, from the public network. So if it is accessible from public network, you can have the network ACL security group. So then it is a public ACL. That is for everybody. And typically host resources that actually need to be publicly reachable, such as the web servers. Like you have hosted a website there in the cloud, and you can host the website publicly. That is for public, for everybody. That should be in the public subnet. But private subnets, on the other hand, do not have direct access to the internet and are used to host resources that require a high level of security. So this is your private network. You do not want to expose it to everybody. So your servers will not be exposed to the external attack, like your database servers. So that should be in the private network using the private IP. Then you come across route tables to control traffic. Now, route tables are the routing tables because we are using the routers or the routing tables that is defined by the AWS itself. We do not have the routers. So, route tables are critical for controlling the flow of traffic within and outside of a VPC. So, each subnet must be associated with a route table, and it specifies which IP traffic can enter or leave the subnet. So, there is a default route like the 0000/0 CID that we know. There is a default route to any network, but you can also add your route, your network, and you should do that. Otherwise, the traffic will not leave your network. Like it is like the ACL, you can say, access control list that we have in the Cisco. Here in AWS, in the route table, you have to add it manually. This ensures that data packets are effectively routed to their appropriate destinations within the VPC or to the internet through the internet gateway. And now you can have one more thing, that is internet gateway. Like if you're having internet access, so how can you have it? Without internet gateway, it is not possible. So your EC2 instance must be connected to internet gateway. Then internet gateways for the VPC connectivity that I was telling you. Internet gateways serve as a bridge between a VPC and the internet, and it allows communication between resources in the VPC and the external network. So they enable instances in public subnets to have internet access, and it is essential for hosting web applications and the services that interact with users and other web resources. So actually, these internet gateways are for the internet connectivity. That is why it is known as internet gateway. There are other gateways like NAT gateways also, that is for the NAT connectivity. Transit gateways also, but in the internet gateways you have the internet connectivity. So, what are the challenges? The security challenges you are having in VPC. First is misconfigured security settings. So, if you have misconfigured the security permissions, security access, then it will be exposed to the external attack. Lack of visibility into traffic, then insufficient access control. So, if somebody needs a certain type of access but you haven't given him, that is a wrong thing. And vulnerabilities in connected resources. So, these are the things that you have as a challenge. Then advanced security features in AWS, if you have AWS Shield for the DDoS protection. You have AWS Shield provides advanced protection against disputed denial of service attack. So if you're having VPC, not only these components, but with that, you are actually presented with some, say, cybersecurity tools also, like this AWS Shield, and it includes two-tier standard, which automatically protects all AWS customers, and advanced, which offers enhanced protection, cost protection, and 24/7 access to the DDoS response team. So if somebody is doing distributed toss attack to you using many pieces, so you can prevent it using AWS Shield. Then AWS Web Application Firewall or WAF. Where AWS Web Application Firewall is designed to protect web applications from common web exploits that could compromise security. Now, like it allows users to create custom rules to block specific attack, like it safeguards against threats such as SQL injection and cross-site scripting. So these things also can be safeguarded in the web application firewall in the AWS. So in VPC, that is also there. Then AWS Firewall Manager, there is a centralized management. Firewall Manager is a security management tool that simplifies the administration of multiple accounts and resources, and it allows for centralized creation, management, and maintenance of firewall rules across an organization. So it ensures consistent security policy and compliance. Then AWS Security Hub, the security posture management. Now, AWS Security Hub provides a comprehensive view of security alerts and compliance status across AWS accounts. Now it aggregates, organizes, and it prioritizes the security findings from multiple AWS services. So it is actually an integrated system, the Security Hub. It keeps all the records. It allows for effectively monitoring and response to potential security threats. So then you have something known as security groups also. For effective implementation, you have to ensure robust security controls are applied to resources in the VPC. How to do that? You have to define security group rules. Security groups like the firewall rules, who can access what. You have to establish specific inbound and outbound rules to control traffic to your resources based on IP address, protocol, and port number. So for incoming and outgoing access. Then assign security groups to resources. Attach define security groups to instances, load balancers, and other resources to enforce that the rules are properly enforced. Then monitor and adjust rules as needed. So continuously review traffic pattern and security incidents to modify rules and ensures that they remain effective and aligned with security policies. Then you have network access control list, NACL. NACL are used to control traffic to and from subnets within a VPC, and they are stateless, meaning that response to allowed inbound traffic are not automatically allowed outbound. So you have to explicitly state that some traffic is allowed inbound, some traffic is allowed outbound. So you have to state these things, and they can operate at the subnet level and can either allow or deny traffic based on defined rules. And on the other hand, security group, this act as virtual firewalls for individual instances, controlling inbound and outbound traffic at the instance level. And they are stateful, which means if an incoming request is allowed, outgoing response is automatically allowed. So NACL is stateless and security groups are stateful, but they both are the very essential components of VPC. So you have encryption in transit and at rest also. Encryption is vital in protecting the sensitive data as it travels across networks and when it is stored. So you have to implement encryption in transit and at rest, and it ensures that data remains confidential and secure from unauthorized access. So every data should be encapsulated or encrypted. Then monitoring and logging VPC traffic. Key steps for effective monitoring and logging to enhance security in AWS VPC. You have to log to actually monitor the traffic. So you have to enable VPC flow logs to capture information about the IP traffic going to and from network interfaces in VPC. And it is crucial for understanding traffic patterns and identifying the potential threats. So you have to enable the logging or the auditing also for your security purpose. Then step 2 is use AWS CloudTrail for API logging. So also in the VPC, you can go for CloudTrail, which provides detailed event logs for API calls made in AWS account, and it empowers users to track changes and identify unauthorized access or changes resources in the VPC. And step 3 is analyze logs for security insights. So regularly analyzing flow logs and the CloudTrail logs helps in early detection of anomalies and any security breach you have to specify, and it provides actionable insights for securing the VPC against threats. And also, these are the monitoring and logging steps you have. And what are the best practices for VPC security now? Best practices are 75% of security incidents are due to misconfigured security settings. So you have to patch up the security settings. 90% of organizations adopt least privilege access to enhance security. And 3 into means 3 times more effective defense with multi-factor authentication MFA compared to password alone. So it means that not only one password, but right now you can have the IAM rules, and there you can have the MFA multi-factor authentication where you are having the Google Authenticator or the Microsoft Authenticator where do you need to enter the code to sign in. So that is always better. And 100% of AWS customers should regularly update software to mitigate vulnerabilities. So these are the best practices for VPC security. So if you even make VPC and you have these tools, even then you have to be very careful about the security breaches, and you have to do the regular monitoring because security is paramount to the cloud. So that is about the theoretical understanding of the VPC we have. And now I can take you to the VPC console. So say this is the VPC console that you can see, and you can search here in the VPC in the AWS console here, and you can go to the VPC actually. And if you go to this VPC or VPC, you can see that there is 172.31.0.0/16 CIDR. That is the default VPC that you are having. Now, never disable or delete it, because if you do that and if you recreate, it will never work. So you will have a lot of issues in your network. It will be unusable. So definitely do not do that. So let me create a new VPC for you. So I will show you how to create VPC, how to create root tables, how to modify root tables. So I give an IPv4 CIDR block here. First, give me a name. Let's say Kolkata 123, and they recommend the CIDR 10.0.0.0. Let it be that 24. That is the, you can say, the VPC. I'm not specifying any IP basic CIDR block now, and tenancy is default. VPC encryption is nothing. I'm not encrypting. You can encrypt it, but I'm not encrypting. And just create VPC. I'm not creating the subnets now. I'll create it later. So you can see that the VPC is created. This is a VPC ID and it is available. So everything is done. You can see the CIDR block. You can also edit it later if you want. Now you have to create subnets within it. So go to subnets. Then you go to create subnets. and then select a VPC. Like this is a default, and this is your Kolkata 123 VPC, and you have to give the subnet name also. ISSS col 1. You can specify any availability zone, but right now I'm not say launching any EC2 instance, so it can be any availability zone as per your choice, A, B, C, D, E, F. So they have a lot of availability zone there. Let's say East 1A, and IP4 CIDR block is this one, and the subnet they're recommending 10.0.0.0 slash 28. You can use this or slash 27 anything greater than 24. But remember one thing, that whatever block, whatever IP block they're offering, you have to take this. Means they're offering 10.0 in this region and zone. You cannot use 192.168 or 172.16 like that. It is not recommended. So AWS will not allow it to do it. Now just click on create subnet. So the subnet is created, and you can also see the particulars of the subnet. It's in the US East 1. You can see the VPC ID, everything you can see. And now go to the root tables. Root table means the default root table. This is the main root table. So this is the default root table you have. And if you create the root table, then you have to create your own root table, because if you later say launch an EC2 instance or any resource in this VPC, then you need to have your own root table. It will not use the default root table, because default root table why will I use? So say says root table 1, and you have to select a VPC, not the default one but the Kolkata 123, and you have to click on create root table. So this is done, and also later you can go to edit roots. You can see this local root is there, 10.0 is there, and if you want to add any root, let's say I want to add a default root, so I want to go for this. Say I'm connected to the internet, or I'm connected to some VPN connection. For that reason, I want to add this root, and you have to specify the target, like this internet gateway or something like that. You have to create an internet gateway, and then you have to specify that. So let me create the internet gateway first, and then I will show you. So create the internet gateway. So CSS gateway 123, and just click on create internet gateway. And now I want that root table should actually contain that. So go to this and actually go to roots, edit root table, add root, and here you add the default root with the default CIDR and the internet gateway. That should be actually it will come. So you have to actually give the internet gateway name, but I think I haven't actually specified any resources here. So I'm only specifying the default root. So that is why it is actually not coming, because you have to launch an instance. Otherwise, this internet gateway, where does it point? Does it point to AWS, say EC2 instance? Yes, the internet gateway is connected, but you cannot connect to internet gateway here. So you can have also this, say the network interface or anything like that, but you have to launch a resource otherwise, or an instance, you can see. So we are not actually running an instance. So right now, that is why we are not unable to launch here, connect to any internet gateway, because the instance actually is not running. So I can ordinarily use the local, means it is actually connected to your local network, like this local table, and you can save this. So that is how you just actually create it. And so it's not taking, because request one exactly one of gateway ID, so it is actually not taking your that root, because it is showing that already a local, that is a default root, is already associated. So before you do that, You have created the internet gateway, but it is not associated to any instance. You are not running actually an instance there. So definitely in the root table, this internet gateway, this is actually not there. So this one, and now you attach it. You go to actions and go to attach to VPC, and now you give this Kolkata 123 VPC. So now the gateway is attached to the VPC, and now you go to root table again, and now you go to roots, and now you go to edit roots, add root, and now if I go to this, and can I find the internet gateway here now? Yes, because now it is attached to at least the VPC. It is not attached to the EC2, but EC2 can be attached to VPC later. So it is taking. So this way we have to understand the things. And so this way you have to just make these connections, and then later if you choose to deploy the EC2 instance, then you can do it. And also you can have the network ACLs there, that you can see that your subnets that is listed there, and also the security group. So the security group rules, you can say that these are actually the security group rules that is there. So you can click on any one of the rules, and you can see the inbound rules that is there, and the RDP traffic is allowed, and also the you can also click on the edit inbound rules, and you can add rules of these protocols. These custom protocols we will add. And also maybe in some other day we'll talk about this security group rules in detail. So that is also a part of the VPC environment. So you can have all these features. As you can see, the network firewall, the firewall policies that I talked about. But these, that is for the traffic monitoring, traffic mirroring, everything is there. So these are the optional things that you have. But the security monitoring, although is optional, but you can implement it. The web application firewall is also there. Even if you launch the EC2 instance, then also see that there is option, that is web application firewall, but it's optional. But this VPC and all its components, this is very, very important, and it is very important for your AWS Solution Architect Associate examination as well, because AWS is in high demand in today's cloud networking. So I have actually shown you the practical how to create the VPC, how to create the gateways, how to modify root table, and later definitely I think we'll be able to launch these new instances to the VPC, and also will be able to connect to the internet. So this is a very simple process that we have to do, and later also we will work on it, and we will also learn some advanced things also. So AWS VPC security, that is definitely a very important topic, and it has very diverse reasons. So it is not only one topic, one short topic, but it has different parts. So maybe first day today we have discussed a very basic part, and later we will also carry on with it, and we will discuss some advanced parts, because as you know, cloud is actually future of networking, and everything is dependent on cloud and cloud security. And AWS Solution Architect Associate, and also the professional level, and also security level. In security level, this is absolutely must. This is AWS Advanced VPC and other cloud security, the firewalls, all these things. So I encourage you all for this certification, for this AWS Architect Associate Solution Architect Associate certification. And I am a very senior trainer at the Cisco and the AWS Cloud level. So I urge everybody to take this AWS certification right now, so that I can personally teach you and guide you for this certification. And also, I hope that you'll be able to also incorporate these skills in your enterprise. And I have another great news for you. I have a contest running on. There, I have prepared a questionnaire that is having 10 questions. And if you can give at least 8 correct answers on of those 10 questions, then you will be eligible for a certificate. Just think about it. Just giving correct answers of these questions will be giving a certificate that will be invaluable for your career. And also, there is another offer. If you enroll today itself, there is a spot 10% discount on any course. So I actually urge everybody to avail this offer right now for the courses. So this is about the AWS Advanced VPC Security webinar for now. I thank you all for watching and joining this webinar once again. I hope that it was very helpful for your career as a cloud, because cloud is the future of networking as we know, and also you'll be able to incorporate these skills in your enterprise level and also to boost your career, because a cloud career is limitless today and opportunities are there very much. So that is about the webinar on the AWS Advanced VPC Security that I have for today. I'll come with some new topic next day. Till then, keep studying and bye.